Welcome to 6 Strategies to Reduce DSO and Improve Liquidity, a webinar brought to you by the Controllers Council. My name is Neil Brown, Executive Director of the Controllers Council. And before I introduce our subject matter expert and our partner sponsor, let me share some brief housekeeping items. We'll have Q&A at the end of the presentation, so please use your GoToWebinar control panel to ask our expert questions. Next, you'll receive a link to this webcast via email in the next 24 hours, so no need for notes or screenshots. With that, I'd like to say a word about our sponsor and partner, Esker, a global cloud platform built to unlock strategic value for finance, procurement, and customer service professionals, and strengthen collaboration between companies by automating the cash conversion cycle. Founded in 1985, Esker operates in North America, Latin America, Europe, and Asia Pacific with global headquarters in Lyon, France, and U.S. headquarters in Madison, Wisconsin. And with that, I'm very pleased to introduce our subject matter expert, Jim Ackerman, Invoice-to-Cash Business Development Manager at Esker. Jim, take it away.
Thanks, Neil. I appreciate it. I'm going to take over the screen here.
Yes.
Actually, if you wouldn't mind, could you just go through the slides for me?
Okay, yeah. All right.
Okay. So, thanks, Neil. So as we get into DSO and the importance of DSO, I just want to explain, how we look at it. I'm sure how you look at it is the same way for the attendees on the call, but days sales outstanding is a common measure for just how long it takes a company to collect an invoice. And after years of supplier shortages, drastic demand fluctuations, increased operating costs, and also liquidity pinches, I believe finance leaders are prioritizing goals associated with reaching the lowest DSO possible and quickly recovering payment on accounts receivable. And I'm sure the people on this call are in the same boat, and that's why you're attending. So the goal is to reduce DSO, to have the lowest DSO possible, and quickly recover payment on accounts receivable. A high DSO value means it takes a company a lot longer to collect and could lead to cash flow problems due to longer time between the sale and the time the payment is received. We can go to the next one. So the cost of capital. The assets that are tied up in receivables do no immediate good for the company's capital situation, as you all know. And capital has a cost. When the company needs an infusion of cash, some options for obtaining that capital may be costlier than others. Converting receivables to cash earlier than AR might otherwise be incentivized to do, maybe the best option. AR once again needs to work with Treasury to understand the company's capital needs and determine when it's optimal to convert receivables to cash. Let me go to the next one. DSO and consistent liquidity. AR's key metrics center around DSO and keeping it significantly low. However, the way DSO is calculated is not always aligned with liquidity. Typically, DSO is calculated monthly rather than daily. As a result, AR is incentivized to ensure their payments are received by the end of the month. As long as everyone pays by month end, DSO looks good on paper. The metric, it is useful for measuring efficiency of the process, but it isn't meant to optimize for cash flow liquidity, over the course of the month. There is a major concern for Treasury, but it's not always on AR's radar if the collection is only measured on DSO. To optimize collecting receivables for consistency, good cash flow, and ideal liquidity, AR must look beyond its internal metrics and work with Treasury to understand the organization's needs. So, strategies to reduce DSO. I know that's why everybody's here. We're going to spend some time just going through some of the modules that Esker offers and some of the strategies that we share with organizations and organizations share with us on how they are reducing DSO today. So the first one, we're gonna talk about credit management, and for the companies on the call today, we hear a lot of times, and we get this question and we ask this question: Are you performing credit evaluations on all your new customers? The other one is, are your credit terms appropriate and followed by your sales department? And that can be a big one. Does your customer service department flag new orders that do not have a completed credit app? Do you have a procedure in place for updating credit information on a regular basis? So these are some of the things we'll talk through in this section on credit management. Let me go to the next. So some tips that I want to share with you on credit management. These are pivotal in reducing your days sales outstanding or your DSO. Your effective credit management not only safeguards your revenues, but also ensures that your company maintains a healthy cash flow. So the first point, onboarding new customers. Let's start there. The first step in managing the credit risk begins the moment a new customer relationship is formed. Assessing credit worthiness is crucial. It's about understanding who you're doing business with and setting the right credit terms from the start. But how effective is your current policy? Are you ensuring that these policies are adhered to and audited? It's not just about having a policy, it's about actively implementing and reviewing it. Second, let's talk about creating scoring models. Many businesses use tools like Excel for this, relying on established criteria or even tribal knowledge. These models can help you decide how much credit to extend based on a customer's historical data and behavior. But I want everyone to ask themselves this: is this process as objective and data-driven as it needs to be? Or are we relying too much on gut feelings and outdated methods? Next, I want to talk through ongoing assessments. The financial health of your customers can change. Regular reviews of their credit status are vital. Some companies set up specific time frames of their credits, of their reviews. It could be quarterly, semi-annually, or annually, depending upon your business model and even your risk tolerance. Also, establishing a clear criteria for triggering these reviews. For instance, if a customer's average payment period starts to deviate from the norm, it might indicate a potential risk increase. Monitoring these changes proactively allows you to mitigate risk before they affect your DSO. So let's talk about the credit application process. And I'm sure that you have something in place today. If not, there's definitely been some technology that can help with this. But the first thing that we can do within the Esker platform is customize your credit applications. So you put the wording in there, what you want to say, what information that you need, and we certainly can provide guidance along the way as well. And then also from there, we can send an email or a link with the credit applications to make it easier for your customers to simply click on and fill out. So there's no need for the paper applications anymore. And then you can also get automatic reminders so that you know that some of the credit applications are not completed and that you have to go back and maybe message the customer, let them know that you might need certain aspects of the credit application to be completed if they filled out some of it and not all of it. So that's some of the automation we can help provide. The other one is we can forward it as well. So they can, if you send it out to your customer and they're not the one that have to fill out the credit application, they can simply forward it forward that link on to be filled out and processed. So a lot of good automation tools just around the actual credit application.